So, welcome to Pixel Ben's podcast. Today, I'm just going to describe about the type of equipments that I'm using. This is actually one of my first video voice podcasts. I usually do this on Anchor. So this is my first time using this. What is it called again? Podcast Podcastle. Is what it's called? Podcastle? Yeah, it's called Podcastle. Sorry, I have to look through whatever I'm recording right here. So for my entire setup, I'm using a Blue Yeti microphone. Then I've got this what we call a D6 video light to brighten up everything. Then for camera, I'm actually using my Pixel 6a main camera, 12 megapixels with OIS and EIS. So I'm surprised at how well it's actually capturing my face and everything else is being blended. I need to figure out a way of how to position myself. Ooh, sorry about that. Must have been very loud. And if I'm sounding clear and precise. I'm actually shooting this at night because I want everyone else to be asleep so that I can at least talk about things and see how things go about. Yes, those are the main aspect that I'm using. I'm actually using a Dell Latitude laptop. It should be a 5540, if I'm not mistaken. I need to double check on that. A 5540. Internet connection I'm using to upload this and record. We're actually using Starlink, second generation. Currently we're on roaming, but it's expiring tomorrow. This is right now. This is the 9th. By tomorrow we'll be moving on to residential. Hopefully the speeds will be far much better than they are right now. Yes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The main idea, really, I wanted to use my iPhone as the camera to be shooting this, but then I don't have the Mac, so I have to figure out a way of how to use an iPhone on a Windows machine and record video using it as a camera. I don't know how it's done. I need to figure that out, but so far so good. Using my Pixel's main camera is actually doing the job for the meantime. Until I actually get a proper dedicated camera, whether I get a Mac or I'll be on a PC for a while, it won't really matter. As long as I am on, and as long as I have a dedicated, camera for this, preferably 1080p, 4K will be an added advantage. Because if I'm doing an interview of a position that I want for the equipment that I want to use. Sorry, the chairs have been making noise. Yeah, pretty much that's my whole setup here. So I want to see what other softwares I will be using to shoot this. The last software I used to test on this was the Chimp for Windows. Yeah, that's the software I was using. Clipchamp. Sorry, I use that just for testing and just to see how the videos would come out and whatnot. I recently downloaded DaVinci Resolve, but I am unaware how to use that. I am a total noob. I think I should just change myself to Noob Ben. Pixel Noob Ben. Because I'm a noob at a whole lot of things. Later on, as we carry on, I'll be talking on things. I'll be pretty much touching on technology. Anything technology related. Whether it being technology used in farming, but the major theme of this is transitioning from fiat currency to crypto currency and how it will help us in future endeavors. Okay. I want to do things like, crypto versus the fiat currency. How is crypto advantageous towards the fiat currency? Because as we understand, majority of, if not all, fiat currencies are controlled and governed by the central banks of whichever residing country, as cryptos are controlled by various interest groups. But right now, we still don't know who controls Bitcoin, the major big one, out of all the cryptocurrencies. Okay, we hear it's Satoshi. Some people are saying it's CIA. Some people are saying it's other people, really. But the goodness about it is that I don't have to go through a bank to exchange currency with someone. Okay, we're pretty much kind of going into the barter system, but in the olden days, without a bank gaining major interest own your money. That's really what shafts a lot of people when it comes to using fiat money. They want that flexibility to trade with someone without someone hovering over that. Though there's a big concern on money laundering, and people may use the cryptocurrency for doing mischievous things, okay? Terrorism and the like. So that's also one thing that really worries people about adopting cryptocurrency. But I want to focus more on the positive aspects of adopting cryptocurrency. For example, in my country, in Zambia, I want to look at things where how can local farmers trade using the blockchain? Because majority of all cryptocurrency run through a blockchain. But blockchain can not only just be used for exchange of finance, but also exchange of technology and exchange of ideas and exchange of facilitating something that they can use, a particular type of technology within the blockchain. For example, blockchain can be ideal for voting system, where it would be very difficult to vote because there will only be once that number is given to you via the blockchain and you vote, you can't duplicate it. So right now, I'll probably call it again the fiat voting system, numbers and people's registration numbers and whatnot can be duplicated. Whereas with this, you actually kind of avoid all that. That's the whole idea why they don't like cryptocurrency. Majority corporations don't like it, because there's a ledger of who you traded with. There may not be a name attached to it, but at least the money can be traced to who was collected and where. You can't find out where they're located, but you kind of have a general idea if they're using a particular machine or PC or phone, whatever it is. You can geolocate it, but not up to the exact point. But if you're dealing with someone that is actually clever enough to use VPNs and all that and to geo manipulation software, where it's very difficult to actually locate them where they are, meaning if they're using multiple VPNs, it's going to be very difficult, especially if you're using cryptocurrency on the Onion network. It's not foolproof, no, but someone can be traced if they're using really, really advanced technology. So I'm actually excited to touch on some of these topics and some of the things. I'm excited that actually Google as well is releasing the Pixel 9 lineup. So hopefully if I have a bit of money, I can probably get a Pixel. But I'm more inclined now towards the A series. There are rumors that they might be stopping that. I am hoping not. Or maybe one of the lower end series starting from the 9 will take over the Pixel 8 series. If they say that, then okay, cool. As long as the pricing still remains below $550, then they're well and good. If it goes above that, then it no longer becomes a mid-range phone. It now becomes I'll probably say a high-end mid-range phone. Okay. I don't want that. I still want to remain in the mid-range. I don't want too much of the functionalities that are with the high-end phones, and I don't want the less functionality. I love the Goldilocks in between, where I just want to use my camera, take photos, take videos. And that's one thing that I want Google to improve on, and that's on videos. I want them to improve on videos because I want them at least to compete with Apple. Apple right now, in terms of videos, I can't lie, is better than everyone. Samsung was topping that back in the day until Apple just overtook them. So at least now you can tell that if you want to take really high quality zoom photos, you either fall under the Vivo, but Samsung is topping that. Samsung, Vivo, Xiaomi phones. If you want video quality, very good video quality, no one beats Apple right now. No one. Okay? It's even me, who's a Android fanboy, Google fanboy, admit and say, look, there's a reason why I got, but then this is a really low end. This is a iPhone SE 2020. Mainly I got this just for the camera. I didn't care whether it was 40 megapixel, as long as it had OIS and I could record something, and with proper lighting. That's what it was got. It was what I got this for, mainly for video. But then the moment Google updated their software on their camera, I really got pissed off, because I realized that, oh shit, what has happened now? Because now I was banking on using the iPhone for my video, and Pixel just specifically just for photos, that's all. But then Pixel decided to update their software. I got my phone in August, and around August period. Then the iPhone updated the Pixel updated their software in September. So a month after that, that's when now they updated their software to improve their camera, which is not bad. Okay, it's not okay for this phone. It's better than the iPhone. At the time, it was at par, but now it's pretty much even better because of the software updates that they have. So yeah, that's pretty much the equipment that I have. I'm looking to improve on the network side of things in terms of Starlink. Yes, Starlink does have its limitations, which I've realized, because I can't schedule a block, for example. There's sometimes when my daughter comes home and she wants to be on a tablet and wants to be on the internet. I want to be able to block that, let's just say by 9 p.m., 21 hours, to, let's just say when she comes back from school at 14. Okay? So between that time, that device cannot connect to the internet. That's the type of flexibility that I want. The type of firmware that I like using is Tomato firmware, fresh Tomato firmware. Usually I get a router that's compatible with that firmware. Then I flash out the operating system, and I put in the firmware that I desire. The reason I like using Tomato because it's really user-friendly in terms of the graphical user interface. And I'm able to also to control the quality of service on the network. Okay. So things like, let's just say for example, like Starlink, okay? Let's just say it maxes out at, I can safely say between 7 megabytes up and 100 megabytes. Come rain, come sunshine. 100 megabytes down. So I can put that in the Tomato firmware and allocate bandwidth based on what I usually get on a regular basis. So out of 100 megabytes, I'll say, okay, I'll allocate 30 Mbps for YouTube. Okay, or I'll dedicate half of that for YouTube, 50 Mbps. Then the rest, like let's just say voice related, WhatsApp voice, Wi-Fi voice as well. If you're using Skype, voice and video. If you're communicating via voice and video, and also like, for example, iPhone's video platform, then I'll just dedicate this as say 10 Mbps, and there may be uploads of 1 or 2, okay, something like that. Then if I want just web browsing, I'll say, okay, 30%. So I'll subdivide that 100 Mbps and I'll subdivide either that 10 or 7 Mbps into various amount of, but I can tune it in percentages. So 20% is 30%, so it adds up to 100, and also on the downstream it adds up to 100. And also I can add, what I've noticed, what has improved actually my speed and pings is putting also custom DNS. So I like using OpenDNS. I like using which one? Quad DNS as well. So if I combine those, that improves my pings a little bit. So when I put that also on the router and I tune it in such a way that, okay, I can also improve the internet service on that router, then that makes things easier. So I'm expecting a router. The only thing that I also need to buy before I forget is the Ethernet adapter for the Gen 2. This is one thing I also hate about Starlink, is that why didn't they just put another Ethernet port behind, or an extra Ethernet port where they can turn it to a LAN or a WAN. No, they had to put that proprietary cable, which, funny enough, under the research that I've done, it's actually an Ethernet cable. If you had to cut it up, you find Ethernet wiring in that cable, but then it's just the clippings at the end. I've seen people kind of rewire that and change it into an Ethernet jack. Okay, which is why now the new the version 3 and 4, now they have Ethernet ports behind them. I wouldn't get the mini. I wouldn't advise anyone getting the thing in Zambia, that is, getting the Starlink mini. it's good when it's portable and you have it and you can put it outside, but it's not something that you leave permanently outside, because once they steal that, because everything in that little dish, the router is also there. Okay. So once they steal that dish, that's your internet. That's gone. Okay. Unless you go online, then you have it blocked and whatnot. But actually, for the moment in time, they can steal that. So I'd rather prefer I get the version 3 or version 4. I don't know if it's out yet. Then you use that. Okay. The mini for here, unless maybe you're one of those people wants to travel to the village where there's no service, no internet, then well and good. It's very good. It's portable. It's almost as small as an A4 paper. So yeah, we have Starlink, which I want to improve on. So those are the things that I'll discuss into detail. I want to put up a file server because I want to put up Plex. There's some videos that I have that I want to be showing on the TV. And actually I'll be getting an extra. I have a thing. I have a Raspberry Pi, but I'll be receiving an extra one, which hasn't been used for a while. So mine, it's the memory card that I have. Unfortunately, in Zambia, they sell useless and pathetic memory cards, which are good for putting in the phones. But then when you're running an operating system on that memory card, they're not good. So at least that one came with a proper memory card. So I'll use that one, which will be running Plex. Then the one that I have, the only thing it will be running is streaming. I want to see if I can stream Netflix off that. Netflix and any other online streaming service. So that at least that would be dedicated. So there'll be 2 dedicated Raspberry Pi. So one will be definitely just for streaming online, and one will also act as actually I want it to be not only just a Plex server, but also a DNS server. And I don't know if I should run DHCP on it. So I want to run a kind of like a home-based server with various services onto that device. That's what I want to do. So yeah, that's pretty much what of the equipment that I'll be using and be playing with for a while. Anything else I'll add on, or probably, if depending on the on the popularity and the request, I'll probably do a version 2. But definitely I'll do, because I want to do a detailed review on first on how long the 1 year having with the Pixel, 1 year having with I think I'll just combine them both, Pixel and iPhone. But actually let me just separate them. Pixel and iPhone will have its own dedicated video and vlog and I think podcast. I'll discuss on this guy here, the Blue Yeti. I'll discuss a lot about that. I'm not really an audiophile, and also discuss about the headphones that I didn't even mention. I have the Sony ZX 110. These ones are actually quite good headphones. They're cheap. They're a bit bassy. They're not so thing, but yeah. And of course, any other plus. Maybe I'll probably do even a podcast on the laptop, and also various topics surrounding cryptocurrency and what it pertains in today's world and technology and how it will be used as we go forth. Because I'm excited about crypto being used in Africa. I know it's being used, but probably implemented in a particular way where it can be used on our day-to-day life. The thing is, with adoption of new technology in Africa is not much about difficulty. You see, here we use we use USSD type of technology in terms of sending money using USSD. Okay, text money. Okay, so with that, when you add any other electrical component, software component, of course, it gets used to with the user interface and whatnot. But in terms of Africa, actually, we're rising in terms of usage of technology. And we hope one day to surpass everyone in the technology sector and where they can now marvel and come towards us. But I think cryptocurrency will actually give us that platform and that balance to spring forward and move forward in technology. So until next time, I will catch up with you guys and I'll explain a little things on what crypto is and my journey. Actually, it's more of my personal journey on the cryptocurrency, and I'll kind of do even interviews in Zambia, those who are actually using cryptocurrency and what they're using it for. Those that want to come out public. There are certain people that just don't want to come out public about it yet. So yeah, we'll discuss about that later. So until next time, guys. Cheers.